So we got not one but two movies today to talk about. Number one, Prisoners of the Ghostland. Number two, Candyman. And they both are brand new. So and I just saw them, Candyman yesterday and Prisoners of the Ghostland the day before. Let's start with Prisoners of the Ghostland. So Nicolas Cage is back. Yes. And is that a good thing? In my world, hell yeah. I would say I'm fairly big Nicolas Cage fan. I could mention a lot of titles, but that would take a while. I don't know. My favorite Nick Cage, that's easy. That's Mandy. Mandy, he just fucking killed it, crushed it in Mandy. For me, Mandy is one of the best movies the last 10 years. Easy. That movie is just like, almost like, in my head, a wet dream come true. It just combines all the greatest elements from cult cinema, and you got Hellraiser in it, and you got the Phantasmagoria, totally blown up, and you probably saw the movie Mandy. That's a 10 out of 10 for sure. Before that, just as good in my world, Hobo with a Shotgun, and before that, Army of Darkness, and just to keep it in the genre, the cinema fantastique, the aka horror, it would fit in horror also. But the new one, Prisoners of the Ghostland, that's I was really excited, and it's a good thing I'm talking about it in the video, because I'm still not sure how high I would put it, rate it. I have to see it at least a couple of more times, at least one more time, and but right from the get-go, after it was finished, I would put it fairly high on that list, on the Mandy, the Call out of space type, even Wally World. Not Wally World. Wonderland. Willy's Wonderland, not Willy's Wally World. But and I also dug Willy. I really dug it. It wasn't as good as Mandy, but as I was saying in the beginning, I don't think many movies are. Anywho, Mandy is across the board just not only a perfect genre, epic cult fucking killer movie, it's also just a perfect movie because it's so broad. It makes the boundaries of what you thought horror could be, crumble right before your eyes in delicious bubblegum color. And I'm not trying to, or maybe I should have my head here in the picture, because it's my own paintings in the background, and some of the videos are done because I have my own paintings on the wall. They're getting swiped by YouTube, because probably they're too graphic. So I'm crossing my fingers it won't hurt this video, but or else I have to move around again. But yeah, Let's try and see. Prisoners of the Ghostland. Where to begin? First off, it's directed by Sion Sono. He directed the Suicide Club, or what was it? It called a lot of Asian, Japanese movies. Somewhat in this genre, or should I say cult genre. But fairly graphic movies. I can't remember the name of. He made a long one with a guy hopping around with a camera and making upskirt photos. That's the same guy, if I remember right, who directed this one. I'm sorry about the light. I'm trying to cover the painting in the background, and that gives me the sun right in my face. So yeah, I'm gonna move around. Yeah, I'm gonna put my arm up, so I'm gonna stay put. So Sion, I don't know how you say it, but I'm gonna spell it on the screen. The director, he directed this one, Prisoners of the Ghostland, and it just dives right in a scenario of that reminds you of Italian post-apocalyptic rip-offs of Mad Max Road Warrior, and a little bit of The Running Man, but what else do we have? We have a lot of samurai movies dripping in it because of the director, and most of the production is, if I'm not wrong, is Asian or Japanese. And we even got the main character from Versus, a cult movie that was a cross between Matrix and Evil Dead, and playing a character called Yasushiro or something like that. I think that's the same character name as a classic samurai movie. I can't remember the name. Maybe I can find it, because I have the IMDb open. Yeah, Yasujiro. That's Tak Sakaguchi, and we got Bill Moseley in it from The Devil's Rejects, House of Thousand Corpses. That could also go on the list. Sorry for best picture. I just forgot House of Thousand Corpses, and especially the Devil's Rejects. These two, I hold them very high. That would be a perfect 10 also. But so we got the Cage character, and he was in a robbery, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but there is a history there. Let's just say that, and but somehow he wins up right from the get-go. He finds himself in this samurai city. I don't know. It has a very surrealistic. What do you call that? In Danish we call it surrealistic. It's very, trippy. The whole goddamn movie is trippy. The whole the way it's structured is almost like, sometimes even you have like an American hippie in Israel in it, some very theatrical setups. So I was even thinking it's kind of like you can call it art house, and but it almost becomes becomes like a watching sometimes like a theater piece if that's makes sense. You know, the way it's performed, it's very almost, I would say, kabuki, but that suits it very very well. And or it switches between, you know, like dialogue from, it could be from Mad Max 2 and to some kabuki, as I was trying to explain. It's very, and there's a lot of in between cut out. He, the characters, especially Nicolas Cage, the character he plays, what's his name? Maybe I can see that. Hero. His name is just Hero in it. He calls himself Nobody. So you got everything is in it. You know, you got stuff from spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood, and you know, as I said, post-apocalyptic. You got the Bronx Warriors. You got the Running Man. You even got some Texas Chainsaw slash House of Thousand Corpses vibes through Bill Moseley's character, and he plays the mayor. Of course, he's just a mayor, you know. So it's very. You see what I'm saying now? It's, you got the mayor, you got the damsel in distress. The whole story is right from the get go. Nicolas Cage's character is trapped because of that bank robbery that went wrong, and he is maybe on the way to his death or some, I don't know, punishment, long time. And then in steps, all of a sudden, you know, the mayor, who's Bill Moseley, in a Texas suit, white, all in white with red leather gloves, walks out of a limousine and with surrounded in this samurai town that's 80 or 90% were women, and some of them in cages, half of them half naked also. So we got the women in cages vibe also. It's not. I'm not kidding when I say this movie is hard to describe, very short, and that's also why it's very hard to find a place to it in your head, you know, because it's definitely a what the fuck experience. What did I just saw? I went into this with a lot of knowledge. I think I've seen, maybe I missed one or maybe two movies of Nicolas Cage in his whole career, and I even saw Peggy Sue Got Married in theater, you know, and I'm a huge fan of that actor. And funny enough, he has become somewhat that character actor. Many of us would have hoped Bruce Campbell would end up to be. I could see a lot of the recent movies with Nicolas Cage in my head, but with Bruce Campbell as an actor. But that's just because I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan and was hoping that would be the way he would turn out in you know, in the movie history. But yeah, that's another story. Luckily enough, we have a guy like Nicolas Cage who's not afraid to step into that ring and say, I'm cool enough to be the new cult horror, whatever, fantasy star. So I'm just applauding it, because I've always been a big fan of Nicolas Cage, and the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, he's been really putting out great stuff. and not all of them are just as good as Mandy, but if they're just half as good as Mandy, they're still pretty freaking cool. The What else can I say about the movie is that, without spoiling, there about the what the fuck, there is. I saw it at the minute because I checked when does this happen. 40 minutes in it, and I'm not even mentioned that possibility because I'm trying not to spoil it. But he is in a suit, and if he doesn't get back a girl from the Ghostland, that's a zone where no one is returning. Of course, I told you, everything is in it, and the as I said, the story is that he's supposed to get her, and if he doesn't do it in 3 days, stuff will explode in his suit, and he can't take it off. That would also make it explode. So we got, it's wedlock, and the whole, as I said, we got it all. So he's gonna get the girl, and he's gonna get her back to the mayor, the Bill Moseley, or else it would go kaboom. And let me just say that we have bombs, one on each testicle and 2 on the throat, and 1 on each arm, and there's a lot of other details to that suit. And I was surprised by one of the bombs that went off. I did not see that coming. Let me just say it like that. I was like, okay, that was bad. That was bad for the hero. And there's a lot of humor in it also, because after the bomb is blowing, if you don't want it spoiled, you should jump 10 seconds ahead right now. So now I can say it. One of the testicles is blown off like pew. And Nicolas Cage, he's just screaming it out loud a couple of minutes after. Yeah. That's funny. One of my testicles. Oh my god. So yeah, it's pretty fucking funny. It's pretty. I really hope you didn't get it spoiled. So yeah, I guess the 10 seconds is up. In short, I would say you should definitely watch Prisoners of the Ghostland. It's not as good as Mandy. Is it as good as The Color Out of Space? Maybe. That's also a movie you have to see more than once, I would say. So yeah. What else can we say without saying too much? The whole thing is exactly what you think it is. I think that I would, if I should boil it down, if you saw the trailer and if you haven't seen the movie it's like that. It's nothing more. It's not gonna get chainsaw all over the place. It's not that bloody. It's in the gore department or fight action, whatever. The violence, I would say, it shines more at the end. There's a lot of weird, as I said, surrealistic. I don't know. I can't remember the English name, so I'm sorry. Psychedelic. Could I also describe that? It's very psychedelic from time to time. There's I don't know. I described it as, if you ever saw an Israel an American hippie in Israel, it's it's kind of like a hippie art house slash Mad Max 2 slash Jojo Jimbo. It also reminded me of Highway to Hell from around the late 80s, 90s. It's pretty fucking great. When I'm talking about it, and especially now I've talked about it in almost 20 minutes, it grows more and more. It's one of those movies, you know, as soon as you find someone else that has been through that experience, watching that movie on that crazy level, it all gets clearer. You know, maybe you see it again with them, with the body, with the friend, whatever. And then because what's very hard to describe is that the feeling I was getting also was that it moves on a deeper level than it allows you to think or discover. There is a very there is a deeper message in the story than just what, you know, the trailer or maybe just the first look of the movie would give you. It has a story about making time stop, owning time, or you know, there. So, and I'm not gonna go into that because that would I would have to see the movie again to know what that was about. So it's not totally shallow, though it really looks shallow, and yeah, it's certainly also you could also call it a comedy because it has a lot of great gags in it and dialogue. And that, you know, Nicolas Cage insanity, that totally out of the box moments where, okay, of course he said that because Nicolas Cage would have said that in a movie. Yeah, there's some gold nuggets. I'm not gonna spoil the real cool shit, but so at this point, I would not give it 10 out of 10, but I would give it a possibility to grow up in the future to be a real bona fide cult classic, but a movie that people would have to discover for real, because I don't think any marketing or nerdery or, you know, podcast right away at this point, at least I haven't heard anybody talk about this movie in that term. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You saw it once, but never at the first time you got to the message in it. And I think there is a message in this one. More than Mandy, so you know what I mean. Mandy, it's not that movie. Phantasmagoria, don't they're not gonna, no, that's just Kipwink. But this one has that there is a story. So all in all, right now, easy 8 out of 10, easy. I'm leaning up to a 9 because I'm actually thinking I kind of love this movie right now because it's just so fucking out there, you know, in a great way, in a really retro and at the same time very fresh cinematic style. Cool shit. So we have the Candyman to talk about, and but I can see this video. The first title was longer than I expected it to be, and I don't think I'm gonna cut it down because I have an issue with just how many megabytes I can work with. So, in short, I think I have to cut this one down to let's just talk about the prisoners of the Ghostland in this one, and I'm gonna do Candyman in the next video, and it will be tomorrow. Yeah, Candyman, 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 Candyman. No, I'm not gonna say Candyman 5 times. Not at all. I just saw the movie. Maybe I do it in the video, and I'm not even sure. But anywho, yeah, let's save Candyman. And until then, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it makes some sense. Maybe all in all, this video is just a tool for you to decide if you should watch it. It's not a perfect review because that's impossible. I would have to watch it again. So yeah. Domo arigato. Thank you very much, Room. Thank you, Prisoners of the Ghostland and Nicolas Cage, for being Nicolas Cage. He is truly a badass actor for show. See you in the next video.